What's good, YouTube? It's Nas, and we back with another video. Road to 300 subscribers, of course. We keep posting every day. But today's video, we're going to be talking about the Cavs. And when I looked up a video idea, I was surprised I haven't did the Cavs already because of how good they started the season or how good they are now. And in reality, they are a championship contender. Starting the season, I didn't think that I thought they would be a playoff contender, yes, but they almost got lost to the Magic. They lost to the Boston Celtics easily last season. They didn't switch up anything in their roster, and except for the coach. And Kenny Atkinson and his system has been phenomenal this season. The Cavs are on top of the East, and deservingly so. And they just had a great win against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And in this video, we're gonna look at their numbers and we're gonna see how good they are, like compared to the other teams in the league, I guess. So let's just get into it. But first, we're gonna start off with the Big Four and their team, who deserve to be All-Stars. Starting off with Darius Garland in his All-Star season, or I can't remember, but he didn't make the All-Star team last season. But last season, Darius Garland averaged 18 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. And this was a down year. Thinking about how the season before this, he averaged 21.5 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and basically 8 assists. The year before, he averaged 21.5 points per game again, 3 rebounds, and 8.5 assists. And last year, he was dealing with a lot of injuries. He played his lowest amount of games since his second year in the league. He only played 57 games last season, and he just wasn't Darius Garland, if you know what I'm talking about. This season, he's averaging 20.5 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists, and he's been great. Like, surprisingly, when last season, when he didn't look to get himself involved, or when he is looking to take bad shots, he would take them. But this season, he's not settling for anything. He's getting whatever he wants, and he's getting to that floater, which is phenomenal. Defense has to cut off his floater when he gets in the paint, and his step back three, he can cross you over. Obviously, with Darius Garland having one of the best handles in the NBA right now, but Darius has been back to that All-Star that we knew a couple years ago, and it's obviously been great for the Cavs to have their All-Star point guard back. And next, getting into Evan Mobley, and Evan Mobley has finally broken out to be why he was this number 3 overall pick in 2022 or 2021, my bad. In 2021, he was obviously this defensive prospect for the last 3 years. Last season, he averaged 15 points per game, 9.5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He's averaged 15 or more his whole career, but this season, he has really stepped it up with the coaching of Kenny Atkinson. He averages now 19 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, and 3 assists. And before, I used to think of Evan Mobley as this inconsistent player, but he's the defensive menace. But this season, Evan Mobley, with the ball in his hands, he's not afraid to do anything. He's going to go up your chest regardless. And Kenny Atkinson has him taking a few threes a night. And him and Jared Allen at the defensive end, I already knew this from the last 2 years, bro. You're not going to score on them easily. It's not going to be so simple as if you're just... It's not going to be that simple. I don't have another word to say about that. There's 2 7-footers at the end of the day controlling the paint, and Evan Mobley being this 7'1" lengthy guy at the power forward position who can hit the mid-range. He could step out for the occasional three-pointer. Evan Mobley was this player coming out of the draft that he's finally showing why he was the number 3 pick on the offensive end. We all know he has been a top defensive talent in this league since he stepped foot, and now he's using his offensive ability and his defensive ability to his advantage. But next, getting into Jared Allen being the center of this team, he's averaging 16. Well, last season he averaged 16.5 points per game, 10.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. Jared Allen has been one of the most consistent big men in the league. When he first got to Cleveland, he averaged 8, 13, 10, and 1.5. The second season, when he made his first All-Star appearance, he averaged 16 points per game, basically 11 rebounds and 1.5 assists. 2022, he averaged 14 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 1.5 assists. And this season right now, he's averaging 14 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists. The stats are down from last year, yes, but Jared Allen is doing Jared Allen stuff, bro. Like, you're not gonna. You try to go up him, he's punching it, bro. He's like, it's nothing really else to say. And he's this lob threat for Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland when they drive into the paint. Obviously, the defense is going to help against them, trying not to get them too involved, trying to stop them from scoring the basket. And then Jared Allen is open for the lob every single time. So that's how Jared Allen gets these easy points on alley-oops and dunks. And he and Evan Mobley, like I said when I was covering Evan Mobley, he's been one of the best defenders in the league. And it'd be a shame if they're both not all-stars. They deserve to be, all four of them actually. And now getting into Donovan Mitchell, and Donovan Mitchell has switched up his game completely to this Cavs system. Usually when I watch Donovan Mitchell, he has the ball much more in his hands. He's isoling, he's getting past, he's shooting threes, he's doing all of that. But he's really having a down season with numbers wise, but team success matters more, so I get why. But since he's got the Cleveland 2022-2023, he averaged 28.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists. Last season, he averaged 26.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Obviously, it was not working. They was playing more of a pick-and-roll defense under JB Bickerstaff, and they switched it up. Now they're a more loose offense where it's driving, cutting. It's a lot more movement under Kenny Atkinson, which makes him a great coach. And Donovan is averaging 23 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. He's having his lowest scoring season since his rookie season, when he averaged 20.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists, when he came second place for Rookie of the Year. And Donovan settling down, adapting into this play style, making it work is huge for the Cleveland Cavaliers, because obviously Donovan Mitchell, in my opinion, is the second best shooting guard in the league behind behind Devin Booker, but him not scoring as he usually does, he can eventually turn it on for a game-to-game sense. Like when he senses that the movement is not working, Donovan Mitchell is going to turn it on, and he's going to start making a lot of shots, and that's what the best players do. And he's showing why he could be the best player on a team. And it's not really him just being the best player on this team, he's leading this team. Like, because if he wanted to, he could say, give me the ball, like, I don't give a fuck about all of this. But he's showing why he's one of the best players in the league by far. And their offensive rating, I want to get into that. They have number one in offensive rating, and they have, and by 121.5, and their defensive rating is 110, which is also the highest. So they've also been one of the best offensive teams and defensive teams, like I was saying. But their winning streak has been great. They're on a 16, I believe. They broke the Thunder's 15-game winning streak, my bad. But yesterday they beat the Thunder, obviously. They beat the Hornets by 10. They beat the Mavs without Luka and Kyrie. It's still a good win. They beat the Lakers. They beat the Warriors. They beat the Nuggets. They beat the Jazz. They beat the 76ers. They beat the Bucks. They beat the Nets. They beat the Washington Wizards. And they lost on December 8th to the Miami Heat. And that has been their only loss since December 8th, which is crazy because now it's January 9th and they haven't lost in a month. But in my opinion, the Cavs could be the favorites to win the championship this season. Let me know how y'all feel about the Cavs down below. Subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If y'all want to see some more, there's a video on the left and the video on the right. Click on them.